Restrictions being phased out gradually in Jammu and Kashmir. Primary schools reopened in Srinagar. Government says efforts are on to restore landline communication fully. Heavy rain and landslides disrupt normal life in many states. At least 10 dead in Uttarakhand, while 25 lives lost in Himachal Pradesh. In Jammu, 2 persons rescued by Indian Air Force after sudden increase in water level of Tawi river. Rescue and relief work in full swing. Home Minister Amit Shah lays foundation stone of Karbi Bhavan in New Delhi. Says Modi government's priority is to usher in development in a terror-free northeast. Supreme Court grants 2 more weeks to CBI to complete investigation into road accident of Unnao gang rape victim and her lawyer. SC also directs Uttar Pradesh government to pay 5 lakh rupees interim compensation to the lawyer for medical expenses. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to pay bilateral visits to France, the UAE and Bahrain from 22nd August to 26th August to attend G7 summit in Biarritz in France to hold high-level meetings with the top leadership of UAE and Bahrain. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu addresses India-Lithuania Business Forum, says India's growing market offers immense business opportunities and is the fastest growing economy of the world. Series of bombings hits the Afghan city of Jalalabad as country marks 100th anniversary of its independence, at least 34 injured. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukma. In our top story, restrictions are being phased out gradually in Jammu and Kashmir. Over 190 primary schools have reopened in Srinagar, while in Jammu region, all schools are functioning normally amidst a peaceful environment. Restrictions have also been eased in 35 police station areas of Kashmir, while 17 telephone exchanges out of 96 are functional. Jammu and Kashmir administration has said that it will try to restore landline communication services as soon as possible in the valley. Union Minister Jitendra Singh has said that after the revocation of special status of Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370, people should now pray for the integration of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir with India.
जैसे कि सर्व समिति से सदन ने भी माना हुआ है, वो इतना ही है कि किस प्रकार पाक अधिकृत जम्मू कश्मीर को पाकिस्तान के गैर कानूनी कब्जे से मुक्त करा करके पुनः भारत को, और हम सब आइए मिलकर के दुआ करें कि जिस प्रकार परमात्मा ने हमें अपने जीवन काल में ये दिन देखने का अवसर दिया, वो दिन देखने का भी अवसर दे।
In Uttarakhand, at least 10 people were killed in flash floods following the cloud burst in Mori block in Uttarkashi on Saturday night. Dozens of homes were damaged due to cloud burst. Water, electricity and communication facilities have also been badly hit. NDRF, SDRF, ITBP and district administration are engaged in rescue operations. 2 persons have been rescued and shifted to emergency wing at Doon Hospital. Meanwhile, schools are closed in 12 districts of the state following the weather alert. Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat has directed all district magistrates to stay alert in view of heavy rain prediction in the coming days. With incessant rainfall continuing in the Himalayan range, the brunt of increased water level has fallen on the plains. Water levels have been rising in the Yamuna and Ganga in Prayagraj in UP. In Varanasi, the venue for the Ganga Aarti was shifted due to rising levels of water. People in various other districts in the state are also facing hardships due to increased water levels. Heavy rains remain unabated in Haryana and Punjab on Sunday, causing floods in some parts, while authorities have sounded the high alert in the 2 states. Floods were reported from areas like Roopnagar, Fatehgarh Sahib, Pathankot and Ropar in Punjab. NDRF and SDRF were called in Jalandhar district to assist the administration for the rescue of people from inundated villages along the Sutlej. In the national capital also, due to rising water levels of the Yamuna, vehicular movement on Loha Pul over the river has been stopped. The water levels have reached 205 meters. In Himachal Pradesh, traffic has been restored on the Chandigarh-Manali highway after water in the Bias receded. Mandi Kulu National Road via Ort has also been restored. The road was blocked for about 50 hours due to flash floods. At least 25 people have been killed in rain-related incidents in the state. In Solan district itself, life has been thrown out of gear due to heavy rains, where at least 5 lives have been lost. The deaths have been reported in other districts too due to rain-related incidents. In Chamba, the district administration has issued orders to keep schools closed tomorrow as well. The State Government Secretary Disaster Amit Negi conducted an aerial review of the situation in the flood-ravaged regions. He held a meeting with concerned authorities to ensure that various basic amenities like food and medical facilities are provided to the affected.
जिला प्रशासन से बात की है और तुरंत 3 चीज़ों पे हमने फोकस किया है कि एक तो लोगों को सड़क कनेक्टिविटी जल्दी हो जाए, उसके लिए जितनी जेसीबी चाहिए, जितना जो संसाधन चाहिए वो हमने किया है। दूसरा, जो स्वास्थ्य के लिए हमने यहाँ पे पूरे डॉक्टरों की टीम भेजी है। अभी मैंने स्वास्थ्य सचिव से भी बात की है कि 3-4 डॉक्टर यहाँ पे हमारे भेजे। खाद्यान्न की जहाँ तक बात है तो हम चाहे हेलीकॉप्टर से छोड़ना पड़े, चाहे हमको जो भी व्यवस्था करनी पड़ेगी, खाद्यान्न की बिल्कुल कमी हम यहाँ पे नहीं रखेंगे।
आराकोट का हमारा बेस स्टेशन आज से ऑपरेशनलाइज हो गया है। यहाँ से हमारी एयर सॉर्टीज होंगी लगातार। इसमें 3 चॉपर्स हम लोग यूज़ कर रहे हैं और साथ ही इसमें जो अभी तक का ट्रैक रूट से भी हमारी टीम्स मूव कर चुकी हैं और एसडीआरएफ की जो फर्स्ट टीम है वो माकुड़ी में हमारी ड्रॉप कर दी गई है और उसके साथ में राशन प्लस दवाइयाँ भी भेज दी गई हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त बलावट की हमारी टीम अभी रवाना होने वाली है। सिमिलरली हमने ट्रैक रूट से जिन लोगों को भेजा है वो भी पहुँच जाएंगे। तो इस तरीके से हमारे फर्स्ट रेस्पॉन्डर्स पहुँच रहे हैं।
And in Jammu and Kashmir, 2 people were stuck near an under-construction bridge in Jammu after a sudden increase in water levels of the Tawi river. They were rescued by the Indian Air Force. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said the government is taking concrete steps for the development of the northeastern region. He said the Modi government's goal is to not only ensure overall development of the region but also to preserve its unique identity. He was speaking after laying the foundation stones of the Karbi Bhavan and Dimasa Bhavans in New Delhi today.
लगभग 130 करोड़ रुपयों के खर्च से ये दोनों भवन यहाँ पर अस्तित्व में आएंगे और इसके साथ ही दुनिया के स्तर पर कार्बी और दिमासा की संस्कृति को एक नई पहचान मिलने की जगह पड़ेगी, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार और इसके प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी मानते हैं कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट में शांति होना बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। नॉर्थ ईस्ट को आतंकवाद से, अशांति से मुक्त करना है। नॉर्थ ईस्ट के अंदर विकास होना बहुत महत्वपूर्ण। देश के सभी हिस्सों की तरह नॉर्थ ईस्ट का भी विकास होना चाहिए। शांति भी करनी है, विकास भी करना है, मगर साथ में नॉर्थ ईस्ट की संस्कृति को भी जस के तस संभाल कर आगे बढ़ना।
The Home Minister accused the previous Congress governments of neglecting the Northeast. He asserted that during the first term of the Modi government, infrastructure development of the region has been given special priority. He also said that incidents of violence and militancy have reduced considerably during the period.
13 फाइनेंस कमीशन और 14 फाइनेंस कमीशन दोनों के बीच में 5 साल में 258%, 258% ज्यादा धन नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार ने दिया। 13 फाइनेंस कमीशन में कांग्रेस की सरकार ने समग्र नॉर्थ ईस्ट के विकास के लिए 87,000 करोड़ रुपया दिया था। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने 14 से 19 के बीच में 87,000 से बढ़ाकर 3,13,375 करोड़।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be paying bilateral visits to France, the UAE and Bahrain from 22nd to 26th August. In France, the Prime Minister will be attending the G7 summit in Biarritz. In a briefing about the Prime Minister's visit, T.S. Trimurthy, Secretary of Ministry of External Affairs, said that the theme of G7 is combating inequality. Australia, Chile and South Africa, along with India, will be partnering in the climate, biodiversity and ocean dialogue.
Prime Minister will be on bilateral visits to France, UAE and Bahrain, and he will also attend the G7 summit as Biarritz partner from 22 to 26th of August. Prime Minister will be visiting France at the invitation of President Macron for the 2019 G7 summit in Biarritz as Biarritz partner. Prior to that, he will be in France on a bilateral visit. The Biarritz summit is on 24th to 26th of August, and the bilateral meetings in Paris between 22nd, 23rd of August.
Vice President Venkaiah Naidu today stressed that India's growing market offers immense business opportunities. Addressing the India-Lithuania Business Forum in Vilnius, he added that bilateral trade between the two countries is below potential and efforts must be made to improve it. The Vice President also invited a business delegation from Lithuania to participate in the India-Europe 29 Business Forum.
It is very impressive. GDP growth of 3.5% in 2018, high standards of living and extremely favorable investment climate accorded to a place of distinction in Europe. It is therefore but natural that Indian investments have found its way into Lithuania. However, India-Lithuanian bilateral trade is around $300 million. Does not really reflect our true potential, this vast scope. There is a need to double our efforts and explore more and more areas of cooperation and engagement. Our economies have significant complementarities in which we can be leveraged for mutually beneficial cooperation.
Vice President Venkaiah Naidu also said that India's growing market offers immense business opportunities and is the fastest growing economy in the world.
India is the fastest growing major economy in the world. We are the largest parliamentary democracy in the world, and now, according to reports of the World Bank, World Economic Forum, International Monetary Fund, Asian Development Bank, Moody's ratings, everybody is saying if India moves at the same pace with the reforms, it will become the third largest economy in the world. India's growing market offers immense opportunities for Lithuanian business. India offers a rising middle-class market comparable to that of European Union.
Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment Thawar Chand Gehlot met an Australian delegation in New Delhi. Memorandums of understanding were signed between India and Australia in the areas of disability sector. The delegation discussed issues relating to co-curriculum design of a community-based inclusive development course and joint leadership development program. The Union Minister said that through the MOU, governments of both the countries will move forward towards welfare and protect the interests of Divyangjan.
ऑस्ट्रेलियन गवर्नमेंट के और भारत सरकार के बीच में दिव्यांगजनों को लेकर के एक MOU हुआ था और उसमें जो बिंदु थे वो ये थे कि दिव्यांगजनों का सर्वांगीण तेज गति से विकास करना, समावेशी विकास भी करना, उनके हित की योजनाओं में जनता की भागीदारी भी हो, ये दोनों मिलकर के दिव्यांगजन सशक्तिकरण के क्षेत्र में MOU के आधार पर तेज गति से सक्रिय प्रयास कर रहे हैं और मुझे उम्मीद है कि इस MOU से ऑस्ट्रेलिया और भारत की सरकार दिव्यांगजनों का हित संरक्षण करने की ओर दिशा में अग्रसर होगी और दोनों देशों को इसका लाभ मिलेगा।
The Supreme Court today granted 2 more weeks' time to the CBI to complete the ongoing investigation into a road accident case in which the Unnao rape survivor and her lawyer sustained critical injuries. A bench comprising Justices Deepak Gupta and Aniruddha Bose extended the time to complete the probe after the CBI moved an application seeking 4 more weeks on the ground that the statements of the rape survivor and her lawyer have not been recorded so far. The bench also directed the Uttar Pradesh government to pay 5 lakh rupees to the lawyer, who is in a critical condition. The Supreme Court has dismissed a plea filed by Tehelka magazine founder Tarun Tejpal seeking quashing of charges framed against him in an alleged sexual assault case lodged by a former woman colleague. A bench headed by Justice Arun Mishra asked Goa's lower court to complete the trial preferably within 6 months in the case against Tejpal. Tejpal is alleged to have sexually assaulted a former woman colleague inside the elevator of a 5-star hotel in Goa in 2013. Tejpal was arrested by the crime branch after his anticipatory bail plea was rejected by the court in November 2013. He has been out on bail since May 2014. The health condition of former Union Minister Arun Jaitley continues to be critical, but he remains stable. Jaitley is admitted in the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi since the 9th of this month after he complained of breathlessness and restlessness. Several Union ministers, including Rajnath Singh, Dr. Harshvardhan, Smriti Irani and Jitendra Singh visited AIIMS on Sunday to inquire about the health condition of former Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. Former Bihar Chief Minister Jagannath Mishra passed away today after a prolonged illness. He was 82. Jagannath Mishra was 3-time Chief Minister of the state. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has expressed grief on the death of Mishra. The government has declared a 3-day state mourning in Bihar. The former CM will be cremated with state honours. At least 19 people were killed and 35 were injured after a container truck collided with a state transport bus in Maharashtra's Dhule district. The accident took place near Nimgul village on the Shahada-Dondaicha road around 10:30 p.m. on Sunday when a container truck collided with a state transport bus coming from the opposite direction. And participating in the FICCI IBA banking seminar, RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das said that economic growth is the need of the hour. He added that financial stability is important to sustain growth in the long run.
The resolution of the Monetary Policy Committee, before announcing the rate reduction, etc., did very specifically mention that at this particular juncture, growth is a matter of highest priority. And I think this is something which the financial sector representatives, the banks and the leaders from the business community and everyone who is involved in policy making and all regulators are concerned with.
The RBI governor added that weaker than expected growth with signs of slowdown is the key risk to global financial stability, though banks are more resilient to shocks.
Now, the headwinds to financial stability could emanate from various sectors of the economy, and there are 4 specific sectors which I would like to mention. 1, the credit markets, 2, the financial markets, 3, the external sector, and 4, the payment systems. It may also emanate from other sources as well, but I would confine myself to these 4 sectors.
A series of bombings struck restaurants and public squares on Monday in the eastern Afghan city of Jalalabad, wounding at least 34, officials said, as the country marked its 100th anniversary of independence. No group has claimed responsibility for the 10 bombs, but both Islamic State and the Taliban operate in the area. India Day parade from Parliament to City Hall was held in Ottawa in Canada today. There were about 250 people in the parade. A minister from the provincial government also participated, while Ottawa mayor was there for flag hoisting of the tricolour at City Hall. And the Iranian tanker caught in a standoff between Tehran and the West left Gibraltar after the British territory rejected a US request to detain the vessel further. The Grace 1 left anchorage of Gibraltar after its detention ended last week. A federal court in Washington has issued a warrant for the seizure of the tanker as it carries oil worth nearly $1 million. British cyclist Neil Campbell has set the motor pace speed world record after he covered a distance of 174.34 miles or 280.57 kilometers per hour. Neil Campbell claimed the title on a custom-built bike which was pulled to speed by Porsche Cayenne before being released, allowing him to break the record on his own steam. The record was set on a runway at Elvington Airfield in Yorkshire and was monitored by independent adjudicators and timekeepers. Flying Dutchman Fred Rumpelberg was the previous record holder, reaching 166.9 miles per hour or 268.831 kilometers per hour in 1995. Campbell, an architect by day, is no stranger to setting records. He also broke his own European motor pace record last year, clocking a speed of 149 miles per hour. And with that, we wind up this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News. Stay tuned. Namaskar.